basically the car sat. It's a Florida car, so there shouldn't really be a whole lot of rust. But the car sat for 3 years up against the berm, and the water and stuff got in it. So a lot of things got rusted. So
this one was an 89?
This one is an 88.
88, okay.
Yeah, sorry, actually 89. It's got the bumper change. It's an 89. So I got another one down there that's got some rust that's stripped down and stuff like that. But we were able to use some patch panels from that one that we cut out and put in this one. We're just trying to make this one as best as we can.
Like the whole trunk?
Yeah. So the wheel well had to be taken out because it was completely rusted and gone. I made the new access panel here, so that way when we upgrade the fuel pumps, that way we can have the scavenger pump and all that. We have to make that because the pump's so close, there's not enough room. So we're fixing all the rust, cutting it all out. As you can see, we started cutting this out. There was a spot of rust right here. We've cut it out. We're going to be replacing it with metal. So not everything's going to be bonded. We did OSFO everything. So trying to kill as much as we can. Trying to make it as factory as possible. And this car is going to get the wide body. There's some more rust over there. But we got the panels off the other car.
And the door off the other car?
Yeah. This door came off the other car. This one was damaged. So is the fender, but the fender I'm not worried about. I'm getting wider fenders for the front. They're going to be metal fenders. The rears are going to be fiberglass. Unfortunately, they don't make metal fenders anymore for these. When you do the wide body, it starts here, ends here. I'm going to do a seamless. That way there's no seam. You can't tell where it starts and where it stops.
Right.
I just don't like the rivets in it.
Just want a cleaner look?
Yeah. So we got rust here. Obviously, by the time we work this is going to be a lot bigger. But doing the wide body, you got to cut this part of the fender just so that it gives you more travel and more room for your tire. We got those panels. We got some of those welded in already. Once we get them all smoothed out, we'll get some seam sealer, seam it all in, and put everything back the way it should be. But we still got a lot of work ahead of us to get this right. The main thing is doing it right. People would cut the whole pan out, but I'm not trying to mess with the whole structure of the car. The frame rails didn't get hurt; they didn't get no rust on them. I'm not trying to mess with them.
Right.
I'm trying to keep everything as intact as possible. And it was all like pinholes, and it was just due to the fact that the water couldn't escape from the trunk, and it just built up over time and rusted everything away. And it's a common problem with these Supras. The trunks rust out, deck lids rust out, and
how are your strut towers?
Strut towers are great.
Okay.
There's no problems with them. They didn't get no rust. And it's literally everything from here backwards.
Right.
The rust is just literally sat in against a ditch. And when we found this car, the hood, there was grass growing through the hood. And that's how much, it was how long it was sitting. It sat for 6 years that I knew.
Wow. Okay.
When I first approached the guy to buy it, he said, "Oh yeah, $5,000." And I was like, "No way." And I guess 6 years later, the magic number was $1,000. So picked it up, brought it home. After it's sitting all that time, I just put a jump box on it and it started right up. It ran like hell, but it ran great. After we got it out of there.
And that's a 7M.
Yeah, this is a 7M automatic car. Ice cold AC. I mean, the minute we turned it on, the AC was cold. Gave it a bath. So we started taking all the things apart, and this is what happened to the car. The tire blew out on a lady on 95, and it dented this in and spun her around and damaged that door and the fender or this quarter panel. But we've smacked this out as much as we can. We don't like it, so we're gonna cut this piece out, this whole piece up to here. Take the seam welds, the spot welds out of it, and we're gonna replace this piece just with a nice, factory piece.
One from the back or no?
Yeah, one from the other car. That way it's not all dented and rusted, and because there's only so much we can do to get that straight. And I don't want the car full of bond. That's not what we're trying to do. It's
No.
it's all metal car. It's original. You know, it's not the original paint. It's been painted before, we can tell. But for the most part, it's a clean car. I mean, it's got good interior, the dash is cracked, but that's the unfortunate part. The dash is cracked, but we'll get another dashboard at some point. You know. So the goal for this one will be wide body, and I'm hoping to do an LS swap on it. We're going to do an LS with a T56 and maybe an 8.8 rear end out of a IRS Mustang, or the Explorer. People use the Explorer one's fine. That way, the motor will have power, transmission will be able to hold it, and the rear end.
Right.
And then I may go as far as putting twin turbos on it.
Okay.
Just because we don't see them very much with LS swaps, because the market's saturated with LS anyway. Usually JZs go in them, but I've already got another car for the JZ, so I figured we'd do something just a little different.
Yeah. Once you got the car all done, body-wise, all structure, you can always do something different later on with the engine.
Yeah, and that's it. Thankfully with the LS swap, you don't need to go cutting the car apart to make it fit. It'll fit. It's tight, but it'll fit. T56 will fit. I think we got this on the firewall. There's over tabs. You got to cut those in 4 different locations and fold them back, just so that there's enough room for the tunnel. But you're not going to mess the car a whole lot to make it work. And to put the rear end in this thing from an IRS, it's not that bad. All we have to do is change the outer hubs to meet up to the axle from a Mustang.
Right. But you got to get a custom drive shaft to make all that work?
Well, yeah, we would have to, because it'll be a T56 transmission and then a forward rear end, so it'll have to be a front Chevrolet and then a rear Ford. 7M motor.
And what are you going to do with this engine? Just put it away?
I'll probably take it out and save it. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know when you might find a purist that wants the motor.
Right. What's the latest?
Well, all the panels in.
Okay.
All the new panels welded in. Seam sealer, so that doesn't leak, or no burnout fumes come through into the vehicle. So all those panels are done, and then now we got to do is sand it down, prep it, and then paint it.
Oh, moving along quick.
Yeah, both sides are done. Underneath's done too. It's all seamed up, sealed. We've got a half a day on this, getting this done for paint, and then we got this. All those patches still to be done. So, and then sometime we gotta strip it, sand it. We gotta cut the wheel arches for the wide body. All that stuff. But I gotta wait for the wide body kit to get here.
It's coming from overseas?
Shine order. Yeah, the last thing I ordered from Shine took like 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. I don't expect it to be here anytime soon. But that's why we can finish all the other stuff, preparation for that.
Right.